Happy Friday! It's Friday. Are you guys excited that it is Friday? I know you guys, we love a Friday. We always do. It is so good to be back, you guys. I've been off for the last 4 days. I've been in Denver on a business incentive trip and it was amazing. It was so amazing. I just can't even, you just don't even want me to start talking about it. You just really don't. You're like, Kirsten, just now be quiet because I would go on and on and on. So I won't do that. I won't do that at all. Today, actually, we have a very, very interesting topic. I was listening to information from Dr. Ben Bikman. Do you guys know who Dr. Ben Bikman is? Let me know in the comments if you do know who he is. We're going to do information today from him. And so the title of today is, let's see, I've got it, is Lowering Cholesterol Harming Your Health. I know you guys, this is like super controversial, but we're going to talk about it anyway. The truth about heart disease and insulin resistance. So I'm so excited. Very happy to be back. Get your calendars out if you want to put notifications on the next 5-day insulin resistant reset challenge in the group. Ditch insulin resistance for women is Monday, July 7th. You guys, it's coming up very, very fast. Monday, July 7th through the 11th, every day in the group, you guys. This is our 26th one. 26. This is the blueprint that you've been looking for. This is the path that you've been looking for. Somebody to actually journey with you with your insulin resistance so that you can actually finally lose weight. So you can actually finally, with you and your doctor, because I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV. I'm joking. I don't. I'm just your friend with a cup of coffee, right? But what I am telling you is that I have many, many people who have gotten off of so many meds. It's very exciting. So that, you know what? I think very much about how, I was just in Denver for 4 days with this business team. Most of them are younger than me. Not all of them for sure. But a lot of them are. And you know what? I used to travel and have swollen ankles. And I used to travel and feel like trash. And I used to travel and not know how to properly eat so that I could actually enjoy myself, not live with a bunch of brain fog and such heavy levels of fatigue. I was just like hit by a bus every morning with bags under my eyes. That's how I used to travel all the time. And then at some point I decided I'm not doing this anymore. And I was in my early 50s. So if you think it's too late for you, you're lying to yourself. I have she's 75 now, but a 74-year-old last year in 5 months using my supplementation protocol and food protocol, she lost 45 pounds. She doesn't have leg cramps anymore. She doesn't have constipation anymore. She is the happiest person on the face of the planet. I'm convinced her face just looks like sunshine now. Anyway, so the challenge starts on Monday, July 7th, and it goes through the 11th. And I will be live in the group every day at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we get to do ingredient trade outs. I take you into my refrigerator and my pantry. The group is called Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And we do a recipe. We have fun. It's community and girls encouraging each other and cheering each other on. I'm convinced it's the best group ever. So today I want to definitely dive in. I did a little bit in my stories while I was gone, just about some of the food choices that I was making. And that's always so helpful, I think, for people. You guys always tell me you want to know more about what do you eat? What do you eat? Well, what I used to eat isn't what I eat anymore because I have found out how to trade out my ingredients to the things that I already love. So I never suffer. This morning, I'm just going to tell you, since we focus on high protein, I did 3 eggs and an andouille sausage from it's a chicken sausage from Emu, and an Oikos 000 yogurt. I had 46 grams of protein. I will be full now for hours. And my blood sugar, stable, steady Eddie. That's the goal. So let's just dive into some content today. And if you have any questions, if you had thought about anything while I was gone and you have questions, just let me know. If you need anything, if you are on the replay, let me know you're on the replay. If you need anything, you always know where to find me, you guys. Monday through Friday, we do this. It's been this way since a year ago, February, unless I'm traveling, right? Or there's a holiday. So This is how we're going to work today. We're going to talk about rethinking cholesterol just a little bit and the connection with insulin resistance. Sorry, Instagram. So what if we have this all wrong? And this is a very, 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 very important conversation to have, because what I talk to you guys about a lot is that everything is connected. Literally freaking everything is connected. But when you go to the medical community, everything is siloed and they're not connecting it. And it's very frustrating for us, because then the only answer that we ever get, the only offer we ever get, is scripts and more scripts. So if we don't want to do that anymore, we have to rethink the conversation. So Dr. Ben Bickman, I really appreciated this conversation he was having on cholesterol. So cholesterol is the villain that we love to hate. You go to your checkup, your cholesterol is a little high, and bam, they put you on a statin. Oh, I should not say that word. An statin. No discussion of your insulin levels. We talk about this a lot. No mention of your triglycerides. Just let's lower that overall cholesterol. But what if that knee-jerk reaction is doing more harm than good? Bum, 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 right? So longevity and cholesterol. This is the inconvenient truth about longevity and cholesterol. Studies show that people who live the longest actually have the highest cholesterol, often do. They have the highest cholesterol. But that doesn't fit the drug selling model, does it? It does not. So if your goal is to live longer and age stronger, should you really be focused on lowering your cholesterol, or are there other things that you should be looking at? That's what we're going to do here. So cholesterol is literally life in your body. Like your liver produces cholesterol for a reason. Okay. So mitochondria, your body's energy factories, actually need cholesterol to work. Did you know that? Like how when you have, people will say, well, when you have vitamin D, you have to have K2 with it, right? Like we understand these things. You need this plus this in order for them to work together. Well, it's the same thing. You actually need cholesterol for these things: your mitochondrial health, your sex hormones, like estrogen, testosterone, and progesterone. They are built on cholesterol. So it's not then too confusing when somebody goes on an statin and their libido goes bam and just crashes, because there's a connection. And oftentimes then that does relate to a lot of sadness, if you know what I mean, with the D word. And then you get put on anti-sadness med. Did you know that was a connection as well with an statin? That's not a coincidence, because cholesterol was actually needed for your sex hormones. Cholesterol was actually needed for your energy factories, for your mitochondrial health. Like you needed cholesterol, and now we're taking it away. We're putting it down because we've decided that the answer is to get your cholesterol down and not other things to focus on. Okay. So your LDL is actually not bad. Now remember, this is Dr. Ben Bickman's information. Very, very, very good stuff. We've all heard that HDL is the good one and LDL is the bad one. Haven't we heard this? We have heard this, but LDL is part of the immune system. Your immune system. It helps your body fight infections. I'm pretty sure nobody wanted to have a lowered immune system in 2020. Anybody? You wanted to really have a lower immune system. You didn't want to like have strong immunity. You were all in for getting whatever was floating around. I don't think so. But think about how many people were on an statin taking down their cholesterol, and their immune system was compromised. Something to go back and think about, right? It is definitely something to go back and think about. Okay, hold on. Imagine calling calling firemen bad guys. If your house was burning down and the firemen came to help put out the fire, you would never say, "Oh, I cannot believe you put the fire out to my house. What's wrong with you? You guys are wicked. You are evil firemen." Like we would never say that, right? We would be like, Oh my gosh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You saved my house. Right? Well, that's what cholesterol does to what's going on inside of your arteries. I know this is confusing. This was it kind of upended me a tiny bit when I first started studying this. I'm like, this can't possibly be true because it sounds like we've been duped. And I don't like that thought process and I don't like that feeling. And, it makes you sound like you're just against everything that's supposed to be normal and good and helpful. And you don't sound like you're the one that, whatever. Thank you so much for the follow. I so appreciate you. I'm wearing white again, so I can't. Joanne, thank you so much for being the #1 gifter badge. You are phenomenal. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are amazing. Thank you for the follows too on TikTok. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. You guys are great. You are so great. Thank you. I appreciate it because you know what? This information, I'm so sorry, but it's like, I am just like on a freaking mission to get this information out. When I started studying this, right around a decade ago, I was like, this stuff can't possibly be true, but it is. So LDL rises in response to inflammation. It's often the result and not the cause. So we think that having a rising LDL is a bad thing when LDL, it's like the fireman going after the inflammation that's being created in your body. So what about looking at this instead? What about your triglycerides? This is actually a better gauge. And again, this is Dr. Ben Bickman information. Triglycerides are a far better predictor of heart disease risk. Okay, so just keep that in under your hat there for a minute. If your triglycerides are high and your HDL is low, that's actually the danger zone. Okay, that's the danger zone. And guess what raises your triglycerides more than anything? Insulin resistance. You guys, it is the core. It's the trunk of the tree. It is the conversation. It is the conversation. I just spent 4 days on vacation with a lot of people. And I know that vacation for me can be such a trigger because you deserve to celebrate, like, especially because this was an incentive trip that we earned. So you deserve, right? But what I was telling you guys, I went live in the group the other day and I said, no, 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 no. You misunderstand. I deserve to wake up and feel like a freaking $1,000,000 so that I can enjoy my day. I deserve to not crash in the middle of the afternoon because of what I ate for breakfast. I deserve to feel good. I'm 60 and I'm hanging out with all of these young people. Now, don't get me wrong. I did not hike with them. I could have, but I whatever. I have this angry heel that shows up every now and then, and I'm stretching my calf, and I didn't want to do that. But hiking is really not my jam anyway. It's not like I get excited about it, but it's good for you. But I did, higher elevation. I literally didn't even notice the higher elevation the whole time I was there. We were in Denver. And I know that it was a real thing for a lot of people, and especially if you have asthma or whatever. I just don't have that precondition. And so I just didn't even notice. Anyway, my point being, I know how to eat for my insulin resistance. My insulin resistance is what will cause, if I do not take care of it, triglycerides to rise, which will cause or bring into play a higher risk of heart disease. My dad was 63, drops dead, type 2 diabetes. He had already had it all. He did the heart disease. He did the emergency angiograms, is that right? Angioplasty, whatever. He did the quadruple bypass surgery. He did the pacemaker. He did the kidney dialysis. He did the lazy Susan full of medication, all of the doctor's appointments and ICUs and shooting insulin in his belly a couple of times a day and then taking a bunch of meds and having everybody like fight it out. And it took until noon until he was safe to drive. Like, we did it all. And his quality of life went, his 50s, bam, dead at 63. My 50s, whoa, lose 3 sizes. I feel amazing. I don't ache. I can keep up with my grandbabies. What's the difference? He took medical information, standardized medical information. I rejected the theories on the front end. I'm not saying that I was told something that I rejected. I mean, that could be true for a lot of people's stories. It just isn't my story. So I was never told something and then I rejected it. I just went on the offense. I got really scared about where my sugars were because I was in my upper 40s and I was gaining weight and I was a 2X in size. And my mother wouldn't leave me alone about my sugars. So when I talk to you guys about insulin resistance being the trunk of the tree, I mean, it is the trunk of the tree. Everything else comes off of this trunk. Everything else, PCOS and fatty liver and heart disease and high blood pressure and gallbladder issues and pancreatic C and go on and on and on and on, gout and brain fog and dementia and anybody else? What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? There's probably another 10, 20 things. What do you got? I mean, it's the trunk. So this is why every single day I'm going to talk to you about insulin resistance and I'm going to say, listen, you can reverse it. You can turn this around. Thank you so much for the hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. Ines Osa 780. I know I probably said that wrong, but I so appreciate you. I wanted to at least say it. Thank you so much. I'm going to do this every day. I'm going to come on here and I'm going to tell you guys, listen, you can turn this around. This was never meant to be a terminal diagnosis. So don't get in the mess of what they're trying to do to get you onto meds. Don't get in their mess. Do your own research. Dr. Ben Bickman, this is his information. This happens to be really good. So triglycerides are a far better predictor of heart disease risk. If your triglycerides are high and your HDL is low, that's the danger zone. And guess what raises triglycerides more than anything? Insulin resistance. Think processed carbs, sugars, seed oils, not cholesterol-rich eggs. Not cholesterol-rich eggs. I had 3 eggs this morning. Love what God gave us. Happy Friday, Meg. Good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Happy Friday. Insulin resistance is the bigger threat. In my opinion, it is the threat. Rampant insulin resistance in our country. Rampant, gone wild, off the rails. Like the train left the station a long time ago. I was headed for type 2 like a freight train. I should never be the one that avoided type 2 diabetes in my immediate family. Never. Why? Kirsten, why? Because I was gestational diabetic with my first baby. One side of the coin. I was hypoglycemic with my second baby. The other side of the coin. I just gain weight, keep eating everything white. I get to my upper 40s. I end up having shoulder surgery because I had a car accident and my rotator cuff had torn. It froze. Guess what that's a sign of? Insulin resistance. It's like all there right in front of our face. It's all there. And they have us chasing our tails. Oh, you just chase your tail, baby. You go to this doctor for your heart, and then you go to this doctor for your liver, and then you go to this doctor for your kidney, and then you go to this doctor for your metabolic dysfunction. Then you go to this doctor and chase. And every single one goes, oh, I really don't know about all of that stuff, but here's a med and a med and a med and a med and a med. It really ticks me off. Can you tell? But doctors rarely test your fasting insulin. Why? Why do they not test your fasting insulin? This is the question. Because it doesn't have a drug protocol attached to it. There's no drug protocol. Lifestyle change that doesn't fit in a pill bottle. Your body is not broken. Your body is not broken. The system is broken. That is trying to get you to just be on a lot of meds. And again, you work with your own doctor. I'm not your doctor, right? But I will tell you that I've had many of you come back to me and say, oh my gosh, I've gotten off of this one and then this one and then this one, because you took control over what you were doing. You finally decided to stop listening to them when they go, oh, you're type 2, no problem. You can have 45 grams of carbs at every meal. No, you can't. Not if you want to get off of meds. Not if you want to actually drop weight. If your insulin is high, you can't drop fat. You can't lose fat. That's just reality. That's just biology. So it wasn't until I could deal with my insulin resistance that I dropped 3 sizes in my 50s after my cycle stopped, because it's a hormonal conversation. Insulin is a hormone. Okay. So no one's talking to you about metabolic health, gut support, or reversing insulin resistance. Okay. So it could be something like this. You're 52 years old, your cholesterol is creeping up, your doctor gives you an STATIN, if you know what I mean, and you start feeling tired, your sleep gets worse, your libido is out the door, and no one links it back to the pill. I mean, I suppose some people do, but not many. You are told, avoid eggs and butter. But your breakfast cereal and low-fat yogurt are sky high in sugar, which spike your insulin and your triglycerides. You lose weight, but your cholesterol goes up temporarily, and your doctor panics, not realizing cholesterol rises during weight loss as fat is mobilized. Okay. But this is what you can do instead. Focus on your insulin control, not your cholesterol fear. Focus on your insulin control and not your cholesterol fear. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You guys, user, thank you. Thank you, Joanne. So this is what you can do. Lower your triglycerides by reducing sugar and grains. I teach sugar-free, grain-free in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, and legume-free. Because other than green beans, all of those beans that y'all are eating when you're insulin resistant, they have like 40, 45 grams of carbs per cup. So you're running to Chipotle thinking you're doing a good thing eating black beans. No, not when you're insulin resistant. Up your protein and your healthy fats. This is why I'm talking about, I decided like maybe about a month or two ago, I'm going to start talking about how I'm front loading protein on the beginning of my day. So in the group, we're doing this 90-day summer of fire, where every day you can focus on getting in minimum of 30 grams of protein before noon. I'm trying to get in. It doesn't mean you can't fast. You can fast. And before noon, it's just to give kind of a gauge, right? But like when I eat breakfast, I usually don't eat right away when I wake up. Like probably for at least 3 hours, I don't eat. I'm not hungry. And so I don't worry about it. And then when I do eat, I front load protein so I can be full for hours and hours and hours with stable blood sugar. So like today, my breakfast was about 46 grams of protein. It was very good. And nothing's going to spike my sugar. It was like a chicken sausage from Amy Lou, 3 eggs, a 000 oikos yogurt, sweetened with stevia, etc. Support your liver and your gut. I'll explain that to you in two shakes of a little lamb's tail. I'll show you exactly what I use for supplementation if you want to accelerate your results. Not everybody does. That's okay. But for those who want to hear about that, I will share that with you. And, when you do supplement wisely, this is how you can actually get your engine to work. So I always tell people, I apologize. I must be thirsty from having been out of town. I don't know. I'm so thirsty all of a sudden. Probably from breakfast. But you would never, ever, ever, ever take your car to a mechanic shop, and say, yeah, I bought it brand new and I drove it off the lot and then I never changed the oil for 100,000 miles. They'd be like, you are stupid. They'd be like, that wasn't very wise, lady. Like, you're supposed to have it changed every 3,000, 5,000, 6,000 miles, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, yeah, no, I just decided just to wait. Well, this is what we've done to our liver and to our gut. So like I'm 60. I started this journey when I was in my, right around that 50-year mark. And when I did, I needed to undo. I needed to get my engine running from the inside out. So I always talk to people about this. I always say, listen, this is what I started with right here. I started with the trio. These are the 3 ingredients the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. I didn't know anything. I was a total sugar addict. I was not assessing my body. Somebody asked me this week, were you always a self-assessor? Because I was talking about the benefits of that and how that's such a great gift that we can give to ourselves. And I said, I was the opposite. I mean, the opposite of a self-assessor. I was living life, just eating whatever I wanted. You can see my before picture. I was not connected to my body. I was not paying any attention. I was never a disciplined person. I was a sugar addict, just like a lot of you are, because you come and you tell me this, right? But so I started here. Now I'm going to tell you this. If you want to start with just the trio, these 3 supplements, that's a great place to start. This one is a very, 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 very popular product. It is for glucose and insulin to come down with a little bit of help with sugar cravings and appetite control. And this one is out of stock until the middle of July. So when you see that it's out of stock, I want you to do this. I want you to say in your head, oh, that's right. That Kirsten person that was online, she said she inventories it in her house. You're welcome. I'm shipping out some right now today. I just do Venmo and then I ship it out. And I don't even charge full shipping. I only do $3 for shipping. I cut it in half. But that's just because this is a very popular product. So this is not my first rodeo. So if that's where you want to start, perfect. If you want to now, because you've got to support your gut. Insulin resistance creates leaky gut. It creates problems. And then what's happening is we're not like taking in the nutrition that we need to be able to stave off or to put to bed, put to rest some of these issues when it comes to insulin resistance. You know, like we have nutritional deficiencies being addressed right here inside of this little pill with trace minerals that we just happen to be deficient in. And our body is like trying to fire and trying to connect, like, and it can't quite connect. And it's just because of simple deficiencies. Well, if you're wanting to like get to the core of what you're doing, this is actually the last, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to go there. So this is actually a gut primer and it looks like a greens product. Do I have this one open? I do. It looks like a greens product, but please don't be confused. Please, please, please. You have to really know the difference between a green product only. I have one. My husband loves it. It's a greens. It's organic, certified organic, sweetened with a little stevia. He loves it. That's not this. Actually, he'll add that to this because he's kind of goofy that way. He's like, hey, I'm out of my greens. Order me some more greens. He just told me this last week. So he'll add that to this. This is comprehensive. 6 different blends inside of one tub. Your digestive enzymes, your fermented greens, your alkaline spices. It's like everything. Now it tastes like tea. I'm not a tea drinker. I wish it tasted like cookie dough milkshake. It does not. So what I do is I put it in my glass with about this much water. I froth it up and I take it like a wellness shot. You can taste kind of turmeric-y, gingery, etc. That's what I do. People do different things. Some people love it because they can taste that ginger. They love it. And then a probiotic. That's like probiotic gut primer together. Okay. Do not heat your probiotic. If you heat this like a tea or you put this in a soup, that's not a problem. Just don't do that with your probiotic. These are alive. This is the gut reset protocol. So the trio, the gut reset protocol, and the last one is the fat burner. This was made for sports nutrition as a pre-workout, not a tingly pre-workout, as a let's target your visceral fat and get your body mass index to shift pre-workout. So what's happening is the testimonies that I receive are the inches that are being lost. So this is something I have experienced myself, but I'd rather talk about other people because you don't have to listen to me. You can just listen to the testimonies. So like 90 days in a row, 3 boxes, 1 box is a month, 90 days in a row. She lost like 3.5 inches right here under her bra, 2 inches off of her waist, 1 inch off of her hips. And then I have another one that is like, they're inverted a little bit. It's like 3, I don't remember. I don't want to say it wrong. I have them on my testimonial pages and stuff. But point being that that's literally where you're losing from the inside out and it's targeting your visceral fat. Now, if you know about visceral fat, you know that that's very, 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 very important. Okay. And how do we know that it's actually targeting that fat when you're losing the inches? Because of the scans that I'm getting from you guys. It's from the scans. Because you can do like in-body scans, etc., and you can find out how your BMI is actually changing and shifting in your body. So this is a thermogenic, meaning like if I were to make it up and not be very scientific and be like a lay person, I would say it's literally heating up the inside of your cell, burning off the fat and shrinking it. And you don't want your body to get used to that process as a thermogenic. Okay. So I do 90 days and then I tell you, take 30 days off. Do not buy a box on that 4th month and then do a second round. Okay. So that's literally the 3 pillars that I talk about, you guys. You can always ask me questions. The trio are the 3 supplements with the 3 ingredients. that help with insulin sensitivity. That's where I started. That's what helped me to walk my journey to quiet the food noise, to help my body function from the inside out, fill in those nutritional deficiencies, and walked me through my changing out of foods and losing 3 sizes. That's where I started. Okay. And then I actually started the fat burner next. I added this one in, this pillar, and this is where I've lost all my inches. And then I added in the primer. I had already been taking the probiotic for a long, long time. That was already a part, of my protocol. But then I added in the primer. Everything that I ever talk to you guys about is going to have a component that is helping insulin sensitivity. There is nothing that is just like throwing spaghetti at the wall. This is me sourcing for me and then coming and telling you what I've sourced for me. So when I go on vacation, it's all with me. I do not stop doing my own routine, me who was extremely undisciplined. So I'm only telling you what has worked for me. I would not, in fact, I didn't even talk about this one for 60 days because I was not sure if it was going to raise your sugars or not. And that concerned me because it tastes like orange candy. It's a pixie stick. You just put it on your tongue. It's literally like orange candy. But I had to send it away to a customer in New York and say, will you test your sugars for me? And she's the one, actually, she's the one. 3.5 here, 2 here, 1 on her hips. That was her first round. So I'm just telling you, like, I will not bring something to you that will compromise what we are talking about. If it's not okay for your insulin resistance, I am not going to recommend it to you, period, the end. I'm just not. So I have to have, sometimes things tested, et cetera. And there are many, many, many products that I do not recommend for that reason. And you don't even know what they are because I don't talk about them. So that's how that goes. All of those 3 pillars together, I call it the total body reset. You can always ask me if you want the total body. You're like, listen, I need acceleration yesterday. I have a wedding coming up. I have a family reunion coming up. I have, something is happening in, a few months, 2-3 months, and you need to have answers now. You need to shift things now. I would say, then grab the total body reset, but also get into the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women and be ready for the challenge on July 7th through the 11th. Get all of the information that you need about how to trade out ingredients. Get what you need to have understanding about how when you eat, you don't want to spike your sugars and call on insulin and then store more body fat. You want to go in the opposite direction. I will teach you how. I will teach you how I did what I did so that you can get what I had, which was taking back my body, taking back my energy, taking back my ability to hang in life with the people I want to hang with, whether they are all of the young people on our business team or whether it's my grandbabies who are 4, 2, and 1. You have something in your life. I will never, ever take for granted that I came home last night. I flew in from Denver. I'm in Minneapolis. Flew in from Denver. I took off my socks and I had no lines around my ankles. You know what I'm talking about, right? Water retention, all that. I'm just going to tell you, and I am not a major worker outer at all. Your diet is more important than your cardio. Your diet is everything. Getting your engine running is everything. And then you'll be able to do the cardio that you want if that's what you want to do. But I didn't even feel the effects of the altitude change. Not one finger swelled up on me, nothing. People were talking about their hands swelling and I'm like, I don't know, because I know how to eat. But it took me 3 to 4 years. Okay. So are you in it for a journey or no? Are you in it so that you can be different in 5 years? I want to fight for you 5 years from now. That's my whole goal. Elaine. Oh, did you just join? Yay, Elaine. I'm so glad. I will look and let you in. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes. Oh, so do you want to know about the total body, Elaine? Is that what you want to know? I can send you information on that. So basically, when I do send that to you, let me just tell you what you're going to see. You're going to see, if you care, a 5-minute video of me explaining deeper what I just explained to you. You can skip that if you want to and just look at the cart And you can see the trio, the fat burner, and the gut reset protocol in there. You can just look at that. And then you can look at anything else that you might want to add on. And I'm going to end with this. The reason why is because we are supplementing from many different locations, like maybe a drugstore or a mart, or, you try a sample at Costco or an Amazon find, or a friend is taking this, or there's a Facebook ad. And so we're getting things from all these different places. And supplementation is not, we are not given benefits to supplement. Our HSA usually doesn't cover it. Our insurance certainly doesn't cover it unless it's written in prescription form, which is made by the pharma company. You know what I mean. Okay. So, normally they're not going to then, because if they can't cash in on both sides of their coin, they are not going to help you in that arena. You know what I mean? So what they have done here is when you purchase 150 3 months in a row, and this is ongoing. This is a brand new launch. 150 3 months in a row. On that third month, they will take $75 off of your order. Not 10 or 25. $75 off. Nobody else that I know of is paying you for your wellness right now. Nobody. So you'll see the video, you'll see the cart, you'll see a free protein guide. I love giving that out, helping you to understand how much to get for the day, what each food looks like. I love helping you with that. Proteins that don't spike your sugars. That's the important piece. And then you'll see like things like, I do have an amazing vitamin D, fish oil, turmeric, ashwagandha, magnesium. I have other things that I already know are beneficial for insulin sensitivity, like on so many levels, you may not even understand all of the levels, but I put like a little snippet of why. So you can have, I want you to have understanding. I am 100% convinced that if you have understanding, you will prioritize. You will say, I mean, like me, I went to Denver. Yes, I packed everything. Yes, I took everything. I had one night where I was so tired because we had been running around all day. In fact, we had done the mineral spa that day. So actually, maybe it didn't matter. Because I already got my minerals that way. I went to bed and didn't even think about my magnesium, my turmeric, my ashwagandha. I shocked myself. So yes, that happens, but otherwise, no, I went from undisciplined to I don't leave home without it person, because now I understand how to make my body function. I hope that makes sense. So everything I talk about, it's all about insulin sensitivity, you guys. We're not veering off into another lane. We're not talking about anything else, but I think that the things that you want are on the other side of you turning back your insulin resistance. It's the weight that's so frustrating. It's the belly that just won't stop growing. It's the meds with the side effects and the medical doctor appointments and the script pickups. And you're wondering, is this just my new life? You're exhausted. You're not sleeping well. You're waking up at 3, 4 in the morning and you're wondering, I don't get it. Why? Why do I wake up all the time? Why am I losing sleep? Why am I so freaking tired? I'm just going to tell you right now, this is not a nana boo-boo. This is I started journeying about 10 years ago. That's not my life. It's not my life. Even going to a hotel where I didn't love the bed. I mean, it was a Hilton. That's great. But I'm like, I want to go home to my own bed. I still slept great every night. I woke up without bags under my eyes. I woke up not fatigued and feeling like a train hit me. I was never constipated this entire time. I didn't feel the effects of the altitude. I didn't have rings around my ankles when I took my socks off from traveling. Do you understand? It's all connected to your insulin resistance. And if I can do this as an Italian girl who had a lot of emotional connections to food, you can too. I promise you. I promise you. Yes, I was slow. Yeah, I was. I was a turtle. And yes, you guys crush my results all the time. But you have got to have somebody instill hope into your world that says, you can turn this around and you can stop listening to traditional recommendations when it comes to food, especially. And you can go a different direction and get different results. I've always said, if you want what somebody else has, copy what they did. If you want what somebody else has, copy what they did. So if you have a doctor that has metabolic dysfunction and is, let's just say, obese and tired and has bags under his or her eyes and doesn't feel good and is living a life that kind of is like they're trashed, and you can just tell that they're not functioning at a high level, stop taking their advice. Find somebody else that will help you. Okay, Elaine, that sounds great. I'll get that to you. So anyway, I hope you guys have such an amazing weekend. Such an amazing weekend. Do something for yourself, okay? And do some kind of an ingredient trade out. Do some kind of try one recipe. Try one thing. Maria Emmerich has really good recipes. Somebody just said in the group today, the group, by the way, is Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. She said, I just tried that keto lasagna. It was amazing. I've never heard anything other than that. It's such a good recipe. It's in the group. Search it before it gets deleted in a week. Facebook is deleting all the Facebook lives from all of eternity past. So go in and search recipes, and you can see that, but try one thing. And then I'll be back here at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time next week, and we'll get back to our normal schedule, right? Our previously scheduled programming of Monday through Friday right here at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And in the meantime, if you need to know about the total body reset or any one of those 3 pillars, get in my messages on Messenger, get in my messages on Instagram. My phone number is available for texting. I can put that in the comments right here. It's 560. You can text me this. Oh man, what is it? What is my number? 560. Isn't that funny? Now I can't remember. Anyway, you can text me. You can get into my messages, and you can ask me. And I have a lot of people that will message me, and they will say, "Hey, Kirsten, is there any way that you could go ahead and help me customize for what I need?" Here it is. And I would be more than happy to help you do that. I think it's 560. Isn't that funny? See, I'm off my game because we went out of town. We went out of town. How dare I do that, right? And I have people do that all the time. I will customize a cart for you because you are not a number. You are somebody with very specific situations going on. Or I will actually also set up a phone consultation. I do schedule those for people who want to maybe jump online on a phone conversation. Here we go, 651, that's it. I'm going to write this down. So you can write this down, 651-560. I forgot my own, how silly is that? My own zip code or area code. That's just ridiculous. 4778. Okay, 651-560-4778. And you can text me and you can say, hey, Kirsten, I was just on your live and you were telling me that you would customize a cart for me, or that you would answer questions according to my specific circumstances. I need to just tell you I've got this going on, or I've got this going on, etc. Okay. And then we'll get you taken care of. Because it's always good to start where you can start for you. All right, I'll see you Monday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Have such an amazing weekend. Off I go to refill my refrigerator. Hitting up Costco. Have a good day.